The Eighth Amendment. The Eighth Amendment bans the government from charging citizens or companies with excessive bails or fines. It also bans the government from inflicting cruel and unusual punishment. The three court cases that challenged the Eighth Amendment are the Furman v. Georgia, Lockett v. Ohio, and Bell v. Ohio. The Furman v. Georgia case was a United States Supreme Court case, and it questioned cruel and unusual punishment. Furman committed a felony when he shot blindly during a robbery and murdered someone. He was guilty of murder and was sentenced to death, but his punishment was never carried out. This case forced states and the U.S. Congress to rethink the status of capital offenses because they were unevenly based on race. The next case is the Lockett v. Ohio case. It was a United States Supreme Court case after the Furman v. Georgia. It consisted of mitigating factors, which make things more severe, serious, or painful. Lockett was a driver of a getaway car for a robbery that resulted in the murder of a pawn shop owner. She was found guilty and sentenced to the death penalty. Ohio law required the death penalty mandatory for felons convicted of aggravated murder unless the victim had induced offenses, the offense was committed under duress or coercion, or the offense was a product of mental deficiencies. The last case is the Bell v. Ohio case. It's a United States Supreme Court case. It was also after the Lockett v. Ohio and Furman v. Georgia. He gave up his right to a trial by jury, so he got a 3-judge trial. Bell was convicted of murder and kidnapping. He went with his friend and kidnapped a man who then was shot. During the trial, Bell had mitigating factors. He denied participation, he had a drug problem, he was emotionally unstable, he was fearful, and he also had a mental deficiency. He was sentenced to death, even with his mitigating factors. These 3 court cases helped form the Eighth Amendment.